What is up, YouTube? It is Docky or Docky Style Gaming, and I am back at it with a Spider-Man Miles Morales video today. Now, Spider-Man Miles Morales is probably one of my most anticipated PS5 titles, right next to Godfall. And though we don't have too much information on the game right now, we did get a bit of things spilt from the creative director at Insomniac Games on the PlayStation blog. So I'm going to be talking about that, and we did get confirmation, honestly, years ago, but we got confirmation on where Miles, in fact, is going to get his suit from, or at least the inspiration from his suit in Spider-Man Miles Morales. So before we get into the PlayStation blog, I do want to talk about where Miles, in fact, got his suit, or the design for his suit, I should say. Now, shortly after, I think it actually came out like the day before or the day after the launch of the PS4 Spider-Man, but there was a comic event called SpiderGeddon. This was like their second big Spider-Man event where they bring back Spider-Mans from like every universe. But long story short, when they actually had their SpiderGeddon in issue number 4, I want to say is when it was when the PS4 Spider-Man met a Miles Morales from a different universe. They had a brief conversation about how the Peter Parker Spider-Man pretty much thought that the Miles Morales was a really good leader and all these other things, and he was talking about his Miles as well from the PS4 universe. And when talking about his outfit, Miles was like, "Thanks, that means a lot. Your Miles is lucky to have a friend like you. When this is over, tell him I said hi." Now, PS4 Spider-Man replies by saying, "I might do more than that. That's a pretty snappy outfit you've got there. ... And of course, the outfit he's referring to is the more ultimate style look for Miles Morales, which is in fact the look that Miles is going with in the new PS5 game. I just thought that was a pretty cool note, though, something they set up years ago that, is technically coming back into fruition. Now, who knows if they're actually going to mention anything about SpiderGeddon in the game. I highly doubt it, but it'd be pretty cool to see if they do. Now, onto the PlayStation blog post where the creative director was talking about Spider-Man PS5. He did want to talk and, of course, point out that this is a new standalone game in the Spider-Man universe. Now, I'm just going to read some parts of the article. If you want to read the whole thing, I will leave it in the video description, so check it out if you want to do that. But really, I'm just going to be covering the most important parts of it. Now, the first major paragraph was saying, "Last week, we were so thrilled to introduce you to the beginning of your Marvel Spider-Man's journey on PS5. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. This standalone game lets players experience the rise of Miles Morales as he discovers new powers that sets him apart from his mentor, Peter Parker. The reaction we received last week was nothing short of incredible, but we wanted to take a little bit extra time to talk about the game and the trailer you saw and point out some of the things you might have missed." The blog post then goes on to say, "As we continued with Marvel Spider-Man's universe, we knew that Miles' origin story as a Spider-Man was something that needed its own game. Miles' multicultural background reflects a more modern, diverse world, and we wanted to give players a new story with new set pieces, fresh villains, and unique quests across Marvel's New York City. This had to be a can't-miss next adventure in the Marvel Spider-Man universe." And they do keep calling it the Marvel Spider-Man universe. Now, the next quote on the blog post was talking about the game, and they said, "Let's set the scene for the game a little more. It is now wintertime, about a year after the events of the first game. Marvel's New York is covered in snow, and just before Christmas break, a war between an energy corporation and high-tech criminal armies has broken out. Miles' new home in Harlem is at the heart of the battle. We know a lot of you want to know how big this game is. Our team at Insomniac is working incredibly hard to bring you a fantastic Miles Morales adventure since we concluded development on Marvel Spider-Man. You'll experience a full story arc with Miles, one that's more akin to a game like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy in terms of overall scope. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is an important, heartfelt, emotional, and essential experience to expanding the Marvel's Spider-Man universe. Then the blog post pretty much went into him bragging about, you know, PlayStation, the ray tracing, the instant load times, which actually might be really dope, the 3D audio, and the DualSense controller. They talked about improving their character scans and things like that. And then he went on to say, one last thing, many of the fans are wondered, is Peter Parker okay? Don't worry, we still have much of Peter's story left to tell, but this game is all about Miles, a critical part in our Spider-Man universe. And then pretty much ended with saying, we can't wait to see you swinging through a wintry Marvel's New York City this holiday. For all the latest, be sure to follow Insomniac Games on Instagram and Twitter. And it's kind of weird, Marvel's New York City? I mean, I get there's like Marvel locations, but it almost sounds like they're trying to bring in New York City. That's funny. But that's what we pretty much got from this article. So we got a bunch of pretty decent bits of information. We kind of got, I guess, what they're going for lengthwise in the game, which they said it's going to be more akin to Uncharted Lost Legacies, which we knew was a smaller game compared to the normal Uncharted games. I just hope it's not that small. We'll see how this story plays out though this holiday 2020 apparently, which is pretty interesting. I was not expecting this to be a launch title for PS5. Even though they didn't officially say a launch title, but pretty much anything coming out in holiday 2020 seems to be a launch title for PlayStation. Which I'm all for. Like I said, this is going to be a great game to play. I'm going to definitely have my hands full with multiple games when the PS5 comes out. So I'm all for that. And I'll still probably be covering some more information on Spider-Man Miles Morales because, like I said, this is a game I am pretty hyped for the PlayStation 5. But let me know in the comment section what you want to see from this game, what you hope to see from this game, really. If you want it to be longer or just as long as the original Marvel Spider-Man, or are you okay with the small, potentially 4-hour game? Like I said, personally, I feel like Miles deserves a lot of time because he has a lot of story. And if the game is in fact a shorter game, hopefully they're not trying to charge us full price. But I mean, it's Marvel and it's PS5 and a launch title. It's probably going to be full price, but we'll see. So, like I said, let me know in the comment section what you're expecting to see from this game. I will catch you all on the next one. Links to all my social media accounts are in the video description. I will catch you all on the next one. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.